So today we are going to meet Mr. Srinath. He's my friend. He has gone through the Express Entry scheme for Canada immigration. So today we are going to learn about this Express Entry process in detail. So here it is Srinath. So let's ask him all the questions we have.
Sure.
So have a disclaimer. I'm not an immigration agent or a consultant. This video is only for information purpose and my reference is all from the official website. I also want all you to verify the informations with the official website. So why was Canada or what was your push towards Canadian immigration plan?
So when we tried for on-site from the company, it was getting a little delay, and we decided, okay, just try for an abroad. So the options available were Canada and Australia. So we tried evaluating all the process and how much time frame, and we decided, okay, Canada seems to be a better option considering all the privileges and everything. So we decided to go for Canada.
Okay. So when did you actually kicked off your very first step? That means your EC or IELTS might be the first step. So when did you actually kicked off your plan?
So the first step I would say is just make a complete plan about this process. Keep a 1 month time to evaluate all the process from the beginning to the end, and also go through some blogs about how this is done and everything.
Okay.
Then once you complete that one, then you can start with initiating the process. So we started with ECA,
Okay.
that is Education Credential Evaluation,
Okay.
and we started in October 2017.
The first step would be, I would suggest it is ECA should be the first step, but certain people would suggest IELTS, but ECA, since the ECA time frame will take around 3 to 4 months, so during that time frame you can prepare for IELTS as well.
What was your qualification and what was your experience in terms of job and or your total IELTS band?
So for the professional experience, I have a master's degree, and also the cutoff they mentioned was 3 years or more work experience, which I met. Overall, I got an 8 band in IELTS. So when I compared that one to a CLB, Canadian language benchmark, so it will come to around CLB 10.
So you and your spouse came together. So how much was your overall CR score by that time?
She had also had a work experience of more than 3 years, and she also had masters, and also she had an IELTS. So when her IELTS, the IELTS overall score was 8.5 out of the 9, and when we converted that to CLB, it was CLB 11. Then what happened is we evaluated the CRS score from the CIC website, so it came to be overall around 481.
So what was the actual cutoff scores by that time?
The cutoff score was around 449, 448 to 452. That was the score at that time.
Okay, so you were already far more better than
So
the
luckily, thankfully, the score was a little better.
Yeah.
So we were able to go through that.
Yeah, exactly. So both of you could score a good CLB band, which is CLB 10 and 11 out of 12. So how did you prepare for the IELTS? Like you both were working a full-time job, right? So how was your preparation for IELTS?
So normally for IELTS, when you give a time frame like around 2 to 3 months, I would say that give priority, give more importance to listening, because in listening you can score the maximum, even a 9 out of 9 you can
Right.
score. So give priority to the listening and more importance for that. Then later you can do a lot of practice tests. So
Is
when
it
you
online or?
Yes, you can do online, or else some people prefer going to the coaching institute.
Right.
It's completely up to the person's comfort level. And also for writing, it is very good if you practice some papers. I would suggest it's better to go with some practice papers, because that will and also do some mock test also.
Right.
There are a lot of mock tests available online. You can practice that one also.
Yeah. So you both practice together.
For
So-
speaking, we practice together,
Okay.
and listening also.
So you got the ITA or invitation to apply as soon as you submitted, or how long it took to get the ITA?
So first you have to create an account in CIC, then you have to create an application for that draw. Then what happens is that once you know like how much will be the draw, how much is the score based upon the past 2 to 3 months, you might have an estimated CRS scores, and also when you calculate your CRS score, you might know how much will be the CRS score. For us, we got in the first draw itself.
Okay. So who was the primary applicant in your case, and was there any particular reasons to be considered while considering the primary applicant?
Your main priority would be try to keep the CRS score as maximum as possible.
Right.
So when I tried filing with her application, we got the maximum CRS score.
Okay.
So based upon that, your age, work experience,
Right.
and everything, and also your IELTS language score, you can calculate the CRS score, and you will get. So once we compared with both of us, who got the maximum score, then she got the maximum. So we created the primary applicant who has with whomsoever they have worked. They need to get the reference letter from all the employers they have worked, and also it's not like just the offer letter or the experience letter, but it should be the reference letter where it should indicate the number of hours they have worked in a week, and also what was your designation, your roles and responsibilities, because that should match with the NOC code with which you are filing.
Okay, so the primary applicant have to submit all these things, right?
Yes, primary applicant have to submit all the documents.
Okay. So when did you receive your ITA or invitation to apply, and what was the time duration in which you need to submit all the documents?
So when we applied, so for us, we created in May our profile in CIC. Then we created our own when we applied for the ITA, and we got picked up in the very first draw itself, because the score was thank to God, the score was very good. And you have a 3 months time frame to submit all the documents.
Okay, so it was 3 months then.
It was 3 months, and I guess right now it's 2 months, I guess.
Yeah.
So when we did it was at that time it was 3 months.
Okay. Did you completed all these procedures within 3 months, or?
So it's like when you have your IELTS score, as well as for your education credential documents, assessments. Once that you have all set of those documents, then later on you have to submit your passport.
Okay.
Then what you have to the passport, all pages, scanned copies wherever, so that if you have visited any other previous countries, all the details that you have to submit.
Okay.
Then also 6 months if you have stayed
more than 6 months,
in some places, you have to submit that one.
Okay. So once you submitted all the documents after your ITA, how long it took for receiving the passport request?
So once you submit these documents, and once you successfully complete by providing all the documents, and once you pay your processing fee as well as the RPRF fee, so you have a time frame. They will respond with you. The normal time frame for the application to process is 6 months.
Okay.
So they will respond. So we got within our 5 months itself.
Okay.
So 5 months and 15 days, yes, approximately within the 6 months we got our applications. Our request for passport document.
Okay.
So that we received within 5 months.
So once you get a passport request, what is the next step to do?
So once you receive the passport request, you have a 30 days time frame.
Okay.
So you are asked to submit your passport to it should be VFS Global.
Okay.
So you have to surrender your passport. And then once you submit the passport, what happens is they will be sending for the visa stamping. The visa will be stamped in your passport along with the 2 copies of your COPR.
Okay. So I think was there any time period to land in Canada once you received all these documents?
So yes, so definitely the visa validity is for a period of 1 year.
Okay.
So it is from the date where you completed your medicals, the visa should be valid. So that is for a period of 1 year from the date you completed your medicals.
Okay, so we need to enter Canada within this time period.
Within this time frame, and you have to submit the COPR at the immigration. at Canada.
Landing, on the time of landing.
At the time of landing. So unless the officer says you to sign it, never sign that. and
Okay.
also never laminate, because once you laminate this document and present there, it's already completely invalid. It's a long process. You're getting this COPR, so never do that lamination or
Right,
anything on
right.
that. So just bring it as you got received in the envelope. Just bring it as it is.
Okay, so once we submit the COPR to the immigration officer at the landing, so will it automatically initiate the PR card procedure, or do we need to apply for the PR card?
You don't need to do initiate anything once you submit and everything at the immigration. I mean the immigration officer at the airport will ask you a few questions, and later what happens is that PR would be send it out to the address. The normal time frame is around 60 to 65 days.
Okay.
So sometimes it can even get it even faster within 30 days itself.
Okay.
The PR would be only sent to a Canadian address. So
Okay.
you should have somebody who's your friend or somebody who's a relative or anybody who has a Canadian address. Give that address so that it can be sent to that particular address.
Okay. So once you land in Canada, before the medical card activation, what is the procedures to ensure our health and like?
So once you land in Canada, from that date, your health card, I'm talking specific to, I'm not sure with other province, I'm just talking with the OHIP, that is Ontario Health Plan. So what happens is that it takes 90 days time frame to get your health card activated.
Okay.
So once you have that one, like there will be a time frame of 90 days till your health card gets activated. So during that time frame, people will go for a private insurance so that you'll get covered. So any medical cost, it's really expensive.
Right.
So what prefers is you go for a private insurance during that time frame of 90 days so that you are fully covered, and if there is something happens, there should be a coverage for you.
Okay.
So we started the normal time frame, the overall time frame for this entire process was around 12 to 15 months. That is the time frame it will take.
Okay.
That depends upon. So sometimes the process might get delayed. So the normal time frame is around 12 to 15 months.
So you landed in Toronto and then you moved to St. John's with the job procedures and things. So how do you find St. John's being after coming from the big city like Toronto?
St. John's is a very beautiful city, and especially it's very serene, very calm, and very quiet. So you have a lot of options for hiking. Especially even I like Toronto well, but St. John's is also a very beautiful city. So initially when we moved, we didn't know too much about St. John's, but we referred some YouTube videos.
Once I came here, I came to know it's a beautiful city, and I'm enjoying a lot here.
Okay. So what is your advice for the people who are planning for the immigration? Especially nowadays, the getting a good CRS score to pass through the system is like bit difficult. So what is your suggestions for the people who are trying to go with the express entry?
So I would say certain things you cannot change, like your age you cannot change, and you cannot change your work experience. Even you have a 3 years or more, that's not counted. But if you give more importance for your language, that is IELTS, it can have an additional points you can add in your score. And if you make your plans well in advance, so you can allocate the cost well accordingly, so that it will not be like an extra burden on you. And also I would say, like when you submit the bank statement, it should not be in the last moment. You already get from CIC website that if based upon the number of people who are coming here, you can get the proof of funds, how much you need to submit. So you make sure that funds are ready well in advance.
So Srinath, thank you for all these informations, and I think this video will let my viewers to get an idea about the overall express entry scheme. So thanks for your time, and
you're always welcome, and wish you all the best. I have seen all your videos about the AIBP programs, and it's been very nice, and you have explained it very well.
So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I think we could provide some information you were looking for. So thanks for watching this video. So see you.
Bye.